Okay, let's move on. Two companies we talk about with multi-billion-dollar valuations. I'm going to start with the taxi app, Uber. In a money-raising operation, it values that company at $10 billion. Okay? Then we have Pinterest. We describe this as an online bulletin board. Maybe we're doing it down with that, but it's worth $5 billion. Here with us this morning is IZEA CEO Ted Murphy. He knows a few things about things like Pinterest. Ted, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
First of all, I want to show our viewers something. This is something that was posted by our producer's wife on Pinterest. As you will see, it is cupcakes. That's right, cupcakes, sort of cupcakes.
Everybody loves cupcakes.
Yeah, but wait a second. This is on Pinterest, and posted with it was a link to how you make those cupcakes. That website is worth $5 billion. Ted, are you kidding me? Where's that come from?
Look, this valuation really demonstrates how the web is progressing. I think if you think back to the early days of Google, everything was text-based. If you think about all the big valuations now, it's being heavily weighted on the visual web. So what's so great about Pinterest, what's so great about Instagram is that people are taking photos and you're able to discover things in that way. And it's all about short form content. So whether it's short little videos on Vine or short little videos on Instagram, people's attention span does not allow them to consume long-form content anymore.
But back to those cupcakes. I can see the finished product. I can make an instant judgment. I don't have to read through paragraphs of text and what have you, or commercials, by the way.
Yep.
And bingo, I like the look of those things. Click on the link, and I'm done.
That's right. Think of this. I don't think of this as a message board or a pin board. Think of it as a visual search engine. So if I type in cupcakes, hopefully what bubbles to the top is the best possible recipe, the best photography, and that's all going to be determined by the crowd. They're going to say, hey, you know what, that's great. I'm going to reshare this. I'm going to repin this, and that's what bubbles to the top.
And that's worth $5 billion.
Hey, you know, it's very early. They just started allowing advertising 3 days ago. So these guys have raised a ton of money, kind of getting to this point. They just now started introducing monetization. Whether it's worth $5 billion, I think we have to wait a couple of years to see.
Okay. How about Uber? Uber is a taxi app. That's the best way of describing it. Right?
Yes.
I mean, you call up a whole bunch of independent taxi drivers, and they bid on the best price to get you from A to B.
Right.
$10 billion? Come on, Ted, explain it to me.
So the U.S. taxi market and limousine market is $6 billion for the entire industry.
Right.
$9 billion in Europe. But what's important to understand here is that it's not just about taxis. I believe that taxis and limousines, what they're doing right now is really the gateway to the future. So in the future, that's going to, I believe, include things like delivery services. I think that they could compete with an Airbnb. They've got people that love that platform, and they've got their credit card information. It's incredibly easy to use, so I think you're going to see it for sourcing all sorts of things.
You know what I think is amazing, though, with both of these companies and a lot of in Tesla, you can add in this, government intervention in these disruptive technologies, you know, to protect the status quo, if you will. It's really scary stuff. You know, Uber is being prevented in a whole lot of cities from doing business. Tesla, we know about the dealership thing. Airbnb, the Attorney General of New York.
Yep.
I think they're protecting vested interests. This is disruptive technology that's going to ultimately lessen the power of hotels and the cab. And I know some cabbies who spend a lot of money on their medallions, but this is the way it's gone.
But with a valuation of $5 billion and $10 billion, Pinterest and Uber, that tells you that then the government's not going to be able to knock them out.
Ultimately, they won't be able to.
Well, I think that this is also part of it is creating a war chest, right? They're going to have to fight these battles. It's going to take some time to really see the success and the scale, and they've got to have the money to be able to persevere.
You're with IZEA, I-Z-E-A. You are the CEO thereof.
Correct.
And you work in this arena, don't you? That's
Absolutely.
what you do.
Social media all day long.
Lucky you. What's the valuation of IZEA, I-Z-E-A?
IZEA is about $30 million right now.
Is it all yours?
It is not all mine. It's publicly traded, actually.
You got a piece? Publicly traded?
It is publicly traded.
You got a big piece?
It's. I've got my nice little piece, yeah.
I'm not going to ask the question. Would you sell for $100 million? Out of time. But Ted Murphy, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ted.